forget you?
I won't forget myself.
Okay. In the year 2050, there will be 9.7 billion people in this world. That is a statistic that puts a lot of pressure on agriculturalists today. Today, I want to talk about the problem of food scarcity and how I think that GMOs can be a solution to that and that they benefit agriculture. Even today, in our world of 7 billion people, a lot of people still struggle to get one meal, even though many of us don't have that problem. As an agricultural education major, I know a lot about agriculture and try to advocate for it every day of my life. I also believe that GMOs will benefit agriculture. Today I will talk about how GMOs will benefit the human race, the environment, and just food production as a whole. Now that we know a little bit about the problem, let's dive a little deeper. So, since our population has been rising, that is due to advances in medicine, in food technology, and overall improvements of our living situations. There's been studies that have shown that how quickly our fertility has increased in the world, and that can also be a contributor. And so, since we have such a quick rising population, there is a lot of hunger problems that even exist today. About 1 in 7 people are hungry, and so that means at least one of you guys would not have gotten spaghetti tonight. And then about a lot of those people don't even get one meal a day, and so there's a lot of malnutrition and a lot of food scarcity. So in these next 35 years of food production, we actually need to produce twice as much food as we've produced in the past 10,000 years. So that's pretty astounding when you look at how much we need to advance, and we really need to do something about this. So I guess I just really wondered what you guys thought. Do you think we can produce that much food?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys think we can do it?
I think yields on crops have really gone up, so that'll probably continue as we get better technology.
Yeah, so technology is something that I think that we could benefit from as well. So, let's talk about what I think we can do to solve this problem. I think that utilizing GMO technology is the most obvious logical solution to this problem. GMO stands for genetically modified organism, which a lot of you may have heard is not good for you, but I can assure you through the rest of the speech that it is a safe product and for everyone to consume. So what is a genetically modified food? So when scientists are creating genetically modified foods, they pretty much take one plant, and if they want to make it better, they take that trait from another plant and just put it in. It's not super fancy, there's not really any chemicals involved, and that's about as simple as I can get with it. So it's a lot of breeding, and it takes a really long time. So once that happens, the USDA, the environmental agencies, FDA, they all do a lot of research on this GMO. It takes about 13 years for a new GMO to get approved, and over $100 million for this to get improved. So there's a lot of work and time that goes into GMOs. Initially, studies have been done on GMOs. When they look at them, they make sure that they are nutritionally equivalent to their counterparts, make sure they're obviously safe for us to eat, they have no negative health effects on us. So they have also done 12 long-term and multi-generational studies to make sure there's no lasting effects of GMOs, and so I can 110% assure you that they are good for you. So, after hearing that, do you guys have any questions about GMOs? Yes, no, maybe? Yeah, so this is also a picture of the Non-GMO Verified Project, and they're pretty much a company or an organization that likes to kind of, what I say, exploit people's uneducatedness about GMOs, because a lot of people don't know about them. I don't know a lot about a lot of things, and other people don't know a lot about GMOs. So I actually looked up some findings that said only 33% of people in the U.S. have confidence that eating a GMO will not be harmful for them, so that it will be safe for them. And then I did some class surveys, and my first class survey, most everyone who answered it was pretty neutral or generally positive about GMOs, but some people had some questions, and then after my speech before this one, a lot of people seemed a little bit more assured since they just simply knew what it was. So, do you guys have any more questions about GMOs? Nope. Alright, so now that we know what a GMO is, let's talk a little bit about how they are being used today. So today, GMOs are being used to increase yields, increase productivity in a lot of food production. So this is a picture of golden rice, obviously the yellow one, or the golden one, which is a rice GMO product that was produced specifically for children in third world countries that have vitamin A deficiencies. So this is enriched in vitamin A. And so vitamin A deficiencies, the symptoms of that are kids, they go blind frequently. That's one of the disabilities they can get, and a lot of them actually die. So this is millions and millions of kids that are affected by this. And so people who advocate for GMOs tried to implement this to help these children, obviously, but a lot of anti-GMO activists actually shut it down. And so it wasn't able to be utilized. So that's kind of sad, and those people just kind of shut down a good thing. And so I think that something like this could be very beneficial to our world. Also in India, they utilize GMO cotton plants because they have a really bad bollworm that affects their cotton plants. And actually after they utilize those cotton plants, they used 70% less pesticides on their crops. So that's pretty astounding, and it's definitely a lot better for our environment. Locally, a lot of farmers use GMO corn and soybeans that have DNA or genes in them that help them resist drought and pests overall, so that helps the farmer save some money, helps the environment, and in the end helps us because food prices go down. Coming up in the near future, they're going to be utilizing a new GMO technology called CRISPR, and it stands for a big long name that I won't even try to pronounce, and it comes with a Cas9 protein, so it's CRISPR-Cas9. So Cas9 is a protein that is used, the whole system was taken from a bacteria that used it as its self-defense. And so Cas9 is a protein that they will put into something like a plant, and then it'll go and find something that they want to change. So say they want to make corn more drought resistant, so they go and find the DNA that makes corn not as drought resistant, that it needs a lot of water, and then it pretty much cuts out that little piece of DNA and then replaces it with another strand of DNA, and then it's really drought resistant corn that they just created. And CRISPR is a lot cheaper of a technology when compared to GMO today. It's still expensive. It's like hundreds, thousands of dollars, but it is a lot cheaper than it currently is to make GMO products. Also, it takes less time when compared to years and years and years of advancements in technologies. So CRISPR is something that can also be used in people and animals, which is something that is talked about by a lot of professors, and they're kind of like, we have to be pretty morally responsible with this upcoming technology. So they talk about CRISPR could cure something like sickle cell anemia. It could cure many livestock diseases, and it has a lot of great potential. So knowing that, a little bit about CRISPR, what do you guys think that it could be used for in the future? I don't know. What are some diseases that involve genes that you know of today?
Something like cancer.
Yeah.
Be used to try to fix.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about it helping cure cancer, so that's pretty exciting. So overall, since we have talked about the problem of food scarcity and GMOs, let's talk a little bit about what we went through. So overall, GMO technologies are a good thing. They're safe for you to consume. As a consumer, I personally try to avoid the non-GMO checkoff label because the non-GMO label, because it's just a waste of money, and it's giving money to people who are trying to combat a really great technology. And as we move forward in the coming years, we can look forward to new technologies such as CRISPR helping us feed the world. So, thanks. And say you're 18.
I'm 18.
I'm 18.
I'm 18. I'm 18.
Or older than 18.
Yeah, it's older than it.
I'm 18.
I'm 20.
I'm above 18.
And I'm 20.